Hello, my name is Anna Richardson. This is my final project of psychology, which we'll go over will be done during the semester from Unit 1 to Unit 15. With Unit 1, it goes over common sense and why psychology is science. Common sense is not enough because what one person thinks is common sense might not be what the next person thinks is common sense because it could be based on their background, their culture, or their religion, and common sense could be very different for another person compared to the other. Psychology is a science because it uses the same methods that regular sciences does, such as chemistry, physics, and so forth, such as the scientific method and theories. But it also can be measured, which is something that's known in science. Next, we go over Unit 2, which is basically about the brain model. It's important to understand the brain model so you can know how your brain works, such as functions like walking, talking, memory processing, and stuff like that that keeps you alive and pumping and movable. Also, neurotransmitters are chemicals that help you function throughout daily life. Without them, you can move or speak. Over Unit 3 is basically we're going in Unit 3 we're going over development. Hereditary and environment development affects someone as a whole. Someone can have the same hereditary development, but have different environmental development, making them different from that person just because of their environment. Environment and hereditary are both very important when it comes to someone's personality and who they are. Major milestones of personal development can be seen in Erickson's stages of psychological development because it goes through all, but but it's important for that person during their lifetime, and it goes from birth to death. So it could be love, care, wisdom, purpose, and so forth. In Unit 4, it goes over memory, sleep, and introspection. Introspection is not reliable because it cannot be used throughout all things of psychology. As visit previously in slide one, psychology needs to be measured, and introspection cannot be measured. So it's not really reliable when it comes to psychology, but it can be sometimes reliable, sometimes used for personality improvement when it comes to looking back at unconscious mind and trauma. But it cannot be used for like the sleep style, for example. Memory and sleep have in common is if you have good sleep, you likely have good memory. But if you have bad sleep, you likely have bad memory. Because when you sleep, your memory is being processed. You don't get good sleep, your memory is not getting the good processing that it needs so you can remember and recall what you did that day or last month. Operating conditioning. Unifying goes with operating conditioning and classical conditioning. Operating conditioning is a behavior that is like taught based on consequences to be both positive and negative by giving something or taking something away. This can be used for both bad and good behavior. Classical conditioning is by recreating a biological response by recreating the environment. So that could be a scene in a photo, a dog being hungry, it creates saliva because it thinks it has food because you're ringing the bell, you're recreating that environment for it. Unit 6 goes over memory, how it works, and how you improve it. Memory works usually in like two stages, but can sometimes work in three. Short term, mid-term, and long term. Short term usually doesn't last that long and it decays very fast, but if you like rechant it or like say it over and over again, you're likely to recall it eventually, or you just need it for a little while, like a license plate number or a phone number that you don't really think is important. Long term could be like a home address or like a phone number of a person that you really know and you know them down to heart. To improve memory, you must be active both physically and mentally by getting like a daily walk or a puzzle or something like that. Also, getting good sleep and eating well can also improve your memory as well. Unit 6 goes over personality, and And psychologists use the term personality to tell who that person would be, like what makes that person that person. This can be through thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And personality can be measured throughout many tests, but it also goes over like 5 traits. An example of this is when you go online, have you ever, and you like search up, I'm an introvert or I'm an extrovert, and see what the test gives you. Sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not. Trust them if you want to. Unit 8 goes over cognitive behavior and leadership. Cognitive behavior affects health because if you think you're not sick or you don't like hospitals and you choose not to go to the hospital, it can lead to you getting sicker or eventually dying. This could also be what smoking and drinking, even though you know it's bad, but it still feels good and it's still kind of good in your mind, even though it can lead to death eventually. Leadership skills could help a person personally and professional life because without them, a person could like dominate. Don't need someone else to make their decisions. They can make those decisions without a person like a big life decision. Like if you're moving, if you're getting a new apartment or getting a new car, you don't need a second opinion. You always go ahead. If if the situation doesn't work out, you always know that it was your fault. You can take accountability for that. You don't have to put your blame on someone else. That's what leadership skills teaches people and it teaches them how to be accountable. Problem solving open. Unit 9 goes over coping and defense mechanisms. Problem solving coping is going at the stressor first head on, like focusing on the problem and trying to fix the problem. While emotion focused coping is like going at the emotions that are being, I would say, caused to be brought up because of this problem. Common defense mechanisms are a way people would try to cover up or ignore a situation trying to defend themselves. This could also be shown in fight or flight by if someone popped out on you, they get scared, they either punch them or run away. Unit 10 goes with sexuality and gender. Sex and gender are different because a sex is what someone is born as, while gender can be how they express themselves. This can be non-binary, woman, male, or a little bit of both. Within the LGBTQ community, they have faced like many problems like AIDS, riots, and discrimination throughout their time. So mental health is very important for them. Many people within the LGBT community just get a lot of hate for who they are, even though they know they should be proud for, especially in rural communities. So getting mental health help would be very important for them. Unit 11 goes over different theories and psychodynamic theories give a person explain a personality by looking back in their past or their unconscious mind and figure out what makes them them. And humanistic theories can help a person with their personality by making them grow and be good and not make that trauma in their unconscious mind define their personality as what it is. Unit 12 goes with mental disorders. Mental disorders can be diagnosed by a series of tests, like a physical exam, lab test within like therapy or online tests. Not always accurate, but can be done. Causes of mental disorders can be biological, genetical, or trauma. A lot of people have mental disorders because of those 4 things, but it can also be caused by drugs. Unit 13 goes over social influence and how social influence can affect people. Social influence is basically when a person is influenced by a person or a group, either by mere presence or about their actions or opinions. This can be seen in social media a lot, especially when people make their opinions online well known. A lot of people follow those opinions full-heartedly, especially if they like them or they follow them because of their opinions. Although it is sometimes it's a good thing. It's always good to follow someone even without making up your own opinion without hearing both sides first. So social influence can be a good thing, but also not really. It's where leadership skills come in and why people need them. Unit 14 goes over behavior. Operating principles are needed in behavioral therapy because it allows people to correct a person's behavior, uses consequences, which is seen in real life, and prepare them for the real life justice system so they can be prepared for their actions have consequences. Cognitive therapy is basically trying to fix unwanted thoughts, and cognitive behavior therapy is trying to fix unwanted behaviors. Unit 15 is about stress management and grip. Stress management can be used personal and for professional because it can help you manage, stressful situations. Pull up by your bootstraps, you know what I'm saying? And not be able to pull out your hair or go crazy or crash out on people just because you're stressed out in the moment. You need to be calm and collected and help people out. Grief can help person in a personal life, like have a backbone, not be able to let be pushed down or be easily taken over by another person's opinion about a situation. Able to stand their ground and see what they said and not change their decision just because someone else said something different. These are my sources. They go for all 30 questions. And you could check them based on the in-text citations for the 30 questions. Thank you for listening.